Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Good to see you. This is Matt coming through loud and clear. Let me make sure that my microphone is on my AirPods. Yes. Okay. Perfect. Awesome. Well, welcome in to my, this is day 2 of moving. So if you can see me okay and you can hear me okay, let me know in the comments. I got my coffee here. And yesterday was moving day for us, so I'm in the old place. We're clearing stuff out today, so doing kind of our final. No, Callie, this is not the new place. This is our old place. This is our old bedroom. We just moved out, and so now I gotta do all that work of the fun stuff, the cleaning and all of that nonsense. So, okay, let me make sure that I've got a little send on the text message. All right, so I just hit send on the text message reminder. For those of you who don't have, if you're not currently getting our text message reminders, you can get a reminder every time that we go live in the morning. You just text 813-296-8553, and then in the message, you put WUL. Sometimes it'll autocorrect. Sometimes it will do something weird. So if it does that, just send it again, I guess. I don't know what to do, but yeah. So, okay, we've got an awesome guest today. I'm excited to bring her on. I had a little bit of both moving and technical difficulties, so we're getting a little bit of a late start today, but hey, it's okay. We're here. We made it. And I'm excited to bring her on. I think her story, I don't know all of it, but we do a little questionnaire just to get a little bit of background on people before we get started. And so we did this little questionnaire, and I'm just excited to hear her story because I think there's power in new beginnings. I think there's power in, as she calls it, starting over. So for everybody who's here with us live, and we are here live, this is not pre-recorded or anything like that. I mean, it's Tuesday, April 27th. Here in Phoenix, it's 7:11 a.m. But we do these every Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern. For those of you who are here live, if you can give us a thumbs up and also give us some clapping emojis or something to welcome Michelle into the show. How's it going, Michelle?
Good morning. It's going well. Let me set this right here. I'm a little, I'm very nervous this morning.
It's okay. Where are you from?
I'm originally from Corpus Christi, Texas. We live in the Houston area of Texas right now for probably about the past 20 years, but originally from Corpus, so the Gulf Coast.
Okay, right on. Very cool. Okay, so now you got started with Legendary, or sort of our community, our courses. How long ago was that?
It was just February. I actually started looking into it in November of last year. Okay. And February 9th is when I actually started, doing my TikTok promotion for Legendary. It was my very first video. It was kind of ridiculous, but so from November till now is when I started. I started the 15-day challenge originally about a month or so before that, okay. and I kind of let it fall to the wayside. I just was like, just second guessing it. I didn't know if it was for me, and I went back and I finished it up, and I just haven't looked back since. So it's just been a couple of months for me.
Cool, awesome. Yeah, I feel like it's a pretty common story of people purchasing and kind of feeling it out a little bit, right? Just for a little bit, kind of feeling, just like, is this something I actually want to do? Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. What had you tried other things before? Well, before we get into that, take us back into a little bit of like the why behind why you're here. Okay. So you worked in, you had a full-blown career for like 17 years.
I did.
And then we had to make a big shift. Can you take us to like your career? Did you enjoy it? What was that like? And then also help us shift into, now I'm looking for something online, and what came about, or you can share as much or as little detail as you would prefer.
Okay. No, absolutely. I was in healthcare for about 17 years. Um, it was enjoyable. I went through, a couple of different specialties, but um, towards the end, I was getting a little washed out with it, and I had kind of been, thinking I wanted something new. And then I actually had a health scare that kind of in 2019 just kind of threw my whole game off. I started I had just some out of control health issues with diabetes and my kidneys, and I knew that it was going to come to the point where I was going to have to leave my full time job at some point. um, I had spent all year 2020, not only with COVID, but on FMLA, trying to get control of my health. I had a couple of surgeries, so at the end of the year, I knew already. I knew I was going to. I was looking for something new. I got on TikTok just like everybody else for the funny stuff and whatever. And I don't know, I don't even remember, honestly, sadly enough, I don't remember who I signed up under. I just know I saw a video one day and it caught my attention. And I had no idea what any of this was. So I kind of, I did a little research on the side, and it came to the point where I was getting more antsy with it. I knew, my time was coming. I'm about to put in my resignation letter. It's coming down. I need to figure something out. And so I went ahead and signed up for the challenge. And like I said, I started it and I kind of let it teeter because I wasn't really sure. And I threw out other ideas of what I might be doing. Um, you know, Starting an Etsy shop and doing selling on Amazon. And then I went through the whole ordeal of like trying to find items on clearance and selling. And I was like, oh my God, I was like, this is not, I'm 48. I'm not gonna, I don't want to chase clearance items for resale at the store or anything. It wasn't for me. Um,
Yeah.
so finally, I came back and addressed the 15-day challenge, and I came and I spoke with my coach, with Joanne, who was amazing. She is amazing. And I just knew that something clicked. I don't know if it was just that time of, like, it caught me at the right time, but I just knew that this is what I was going to do. This was going to be my new career. Um, and I
Wow.
February 2nd, I turned in my resignation letter. And a week later, I made my first post on TikTok. So here I am.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
It's been a whirlwind for sure.
Well, that's cool. I mean, I feel like it's a big testimonial or a testament to just, I don't know. To me, I feel like it's a big testament to where we are in the world, and like this has been happening for so long. I feel like COVID brought it to more people's attention, or really brought it to the mainstream. But I mean, this whole movement, this whole ability um, to whether it's a job or whether it's sometimes people having, like, a lot of times moms when they have a kid, or when people get laid off, like, this has been a whole movement now for like a decade or more, probably 15-ish years, where people are going online and like building out a new career, and they're like, no,
Right,
this is actually possible. And now I feel like it's becoming this thing where people are now not as skeptical of it. I think before it was like, oh, these people out there in outer space making money somehow on the internet, I don't really know
right,
how it works and I don't really know what they do. Now it's like, oh, okay, yeah, you're one of them. That
right,
makes sense.
right,
Cool.
right.
It's like almost this embraced thing. Going from So turning in a resignation letter is not an easy thing to do.
It is
You've
not.
got income, you've got all of this stuff tied up in that.
I
What
do.
was that like?
It was tough. And I kind of just sprung this on my husband. I've got grown children. They're 30
Okay.
years old, 30 years old, and 19. And I've got grown children. So I kind of was like, this might be my time, and and I knew, so my husband, I kind of went to him and I was like, I'm thinking about doing this class, and I think, we knew that was coming because of my health, but I just don't think that he realized where I was with it. I don't think he realized that I was ready to take this big, like, okay, I'm resigning from this job. Um, so I within a few days, actually, literally, I just said, this is what I want to do. I wrote a letter to my boss and I talked to her about it on the phone. And I went in there. And actually, I was dealing with um, health issues at the time. So I was on like a 10-day leave. And I just came back, broke it down to her, and I just said, this is not going to work. I'm not coming back. I didn't want to end my 17-year career in healthcare with having to be let go because of poor
Yeah.
attendance. You don't want to ever, even especially at my age, you don't want to get let go for something like that and then have to go out and do another job search and be like, well, why were you let go? Well, I wasn't coming to work all the time because they don't hear I was sick. They just hear I wasn't coming to work all the time, So
Yeah.
it was a big step. It was a big step. My husband was kind of like, oh, okay, that okay. Not going to work next week. I was like, no, I'm done. And he was okay, well, let's do this. He was like, if you're gonna do it, this is the time to do it then, I guess. So
Yeah.
he was supportive. I think I caught my whole family off guard. I don't think they realized how serious I was about making a change. And I think they were all terrified because who does that? Just especially for some, it's not like if I told them I was changing careers and going back to school to be, a lawyer or something that they think is like more credible, right? What do? You change
Right.
careers. When I said I'm going to resign from my job and I'm going to make money online, they were like, "Hmm, how are we doing that?" You
I
know,
imagine the faces.
right?
Like,
It was a
oh yeah, okay, that's a cute idea.
right. Yeah, that's great, Mom. Sure. But yeah, it went great, and they have supported me, and they've actually been just as surprised as I am. I've been, um, I mean, it's just been, like I said, it's been a couple of months, and it's been a whirlwind for sure. But I love it. I love this so much, so much. Yeah.
Cool. So, do you have like a little, what's your office? I'm just curious. Like, all right, so you're working out of your house, you have your own little office set up?
So, I do have an office in my house. I have grandchildren living with me. So my
Oh,
office is now a corner, which makes for a very romantic setting. It is a corner in my bedroom with this photo backdrop of a brick wall, that
yep.
everybody buys, right? I've got a bookshelf, a desk, and a couple of ring lights here, and that's it. And this is where I come every day, and I sit here and I go live a few times a week, and I'm make my content right here in this little corner of my bedroom.
I
So
love it.
yeah.
So for everybody who's here, I'm moving out. So you can see in here, I'm standing in a totally empty room and I've got a box set up that I was sitting my computer on. But on your note about having a little corner, so this was one of our main, this is one of our main closets that we just moved out of, right? And when I first got started online, we had a closet about this size. And I kid you not, on this bottom shelf right here, I removed this 2013 or 2012, 2013. And so you can see, and then I turned this into a desk. So I'm not joking you. There was clothes all around me, and I would just set it right here. And then I would try to adjust the doors and try to make it look like I wasn't in a closet. And then I would, just try to cover everything up with my body or whatever. And yeah, I mean, I made my first, $3,000 commission or whatever, or $3,000 sale.
From a closet.
Working out of a freaking closet. Yeah. So
Yeah.
to me, I'm not, that isn't surprising to me. I actually think in most cases, like it's a cool story. Like people always are like, it's all about how you think about it. It's all about your frame of mind because
Right.
a lot of people they feel shamed over that, or they feel like, oh, how could I, what a poser I am. And there's such this imposter syndrome, but like, who gives a crap? Like Apple is built out of a garage. I mean,
Right.
if you look back at the start of Amazon to what they are now, it's not like Jeff Bezos was sitting in his little tiny crusty office space that he leased for almost nothing, thinking like, oh, well, we're not even like a real legit bookstore company online. Like we're just, it's like, no, this is the new, this is what it is to be a new, a new world, a new age entrepreneur online. It's like set up you need 20 square feet or
Right.
less, and you need a table and a freaking laptop.
Yeah.
Like, and
Yep.
in some cases, you don't even need that.
Right.
In some
Right.
cases, you need a freaking phone.
It's
It's
phone, right.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's definitely my space, and it feels literally when I have it kind of blocked in with a file cabinet here and my desk, and it's almost like walking into another, it's like this has become my workspace, this little corner. And so I can be downstairs doing whatever, and then I'm like, oh, I've got to go post something, and I run upstairs and I come right back here to this corner, and this is my little safe zone of where I can get things done. So it's
Yep.
turned out to be okay for me.
That's exactly what my whole little closet setup was to me, is a place where, like, I mean, it was tiny and just like almost embarrassed. I feel almost embarrassed about it now, especially because it was a closet. Like that's
Right.
like maybe one step too far, but we just didn't have any other space, and I always felt like I wanted a little bit of just pure privacy. Like I wanted a place where I'm just actually alone and in my zone and in my space. And I'm such an introvert that, like, my wife, like Catherine, she needs like windows, and she needs like to see out and not feel like contained. I feel like I want to feel contained. And so that little space, like you said, is like so powerful because it allowed me to just be creative and to get out of like, are people watching me or people like whatever. I was just like in my little zone, I guess.
Right. Right.
Interesting. So do you think that that helps? And so do you create most of your content right there?
Right here. my very
Sweet.
first my very first post was downstairs in the family room in front of a bookcase, and I'm not joking when I say I was like, make sure all the good books are posted and make sure that everything's stacked up just right behind me. And I was like, I can't do this every day. And then when you're posting, when I was making this first video, I had my daughter, my 19-year-old. I'm like, okay, where do I look? What do I do? How do I? And it was just, and then I felt embarrassed. I felt embarrassed in front of her because I was like, oh gosh, here I am, 48, trying to start over with something new. And I'm on TikTok making little dancey videos. And that was like my very first one. And so I was like, I can't do this in the living room. Can't do this down here in front of everybody coming and going. And I was like, nope, we're taking it upstairs. So yeah, so
Yeah.
this is it. This is where I, create most of my stuff unless I'm outside or anything.
Yeah, I feel like though, see what's powerful, I feel like, so I'm gonna project a little bit onto your kids, okay?
Mhm.
So I feel like what I feel like is powerful to me about your story is, if I were watching along, right? So if I were like daily around you, or you were my mom, or you were like my sibling, or even whatever. Um, I like, to me, I feel like what's powerful about that is you've been consistent, right?
Mhm.
So sometimes what I've coached a lot of people online who have tried this and tried that and tried this and tried that and they have this habitual pattern of just kind of dabble, 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 dabble. And then
Right.
what happens with their kids, I talk to them about, oh, my kids are saying I got into this other thing again. And their kids start to learn that pattern. They start to
Right.
pick up on the fact of like, oh, you're just playing around here. And I
Right.
feel like, the vibe I get from you, number one, having worked that long in a career, is a lot of consistency. But then
Mhm.
also, when you did make that switch, it wasn't like a let's play around and be cute. I mean, you got 36,000 followers on TikTok, and you're posting aggressively a lot. You're building a following, you're building an audience, and you're generating some income.
Right. Right.
So all on top of all of that, uh, as they're looking on, um, I feel like it's just, to me, it seems so powerful that that when restarting and getting everything, from ground zero, a total restart,
Yeah,
that they can sort of look on and look at that and be like, well, damn, like Michelle, she's kind of a badass. Like
I
that
agree.
takes a lot of guts, you know? It really does. It's crazy. It's not, yeah. I just think that that shouldn't be something taken lightly because it's just such a cool thing. So,
Right.
yeah, it's a very cool. So, um, what's next? I mean, so you're at like 36,000 followers,
Hmm.
and I mean, my guess is you'd probably just remain consistent with posting and keeping your
Right.
video content going. What's the next horizon, or like kind of what are you thinking about? What's going on in your mind?
Well, so when I just, when I started, I originally was just like, oh, you know, I'll just stick with, promoting Legendary, and I'm going to do that for 3 or 4 months just so I can learn. I mean, literally, I did the blueprints and such, the decade in the day. I did all the blueprints, and there's things that I still haven't even gotten to. Like, there's still so much that I haven't learned within that because it's so much information. And honestly, I'm taking advantage of the fact that I do get the chance to work from home. So I work on this in the morning, and then I do, go about my day and do all of the other mom and grandmom things that I need to do here in the home. But so I just started about a week and a half ago. I just did two more like domains to start promoting other things.
Cool.
But I haven't put up any. I put like two posts. I haven't really tried to get followers yet because I kind of wanted to feel out what, other than this, what is it that I wanted to promote, right? I
Yeah.
had to
What
feel.
other niches are you looking at?
Yeah, so I did go into the health and wellness because, just specifically because of my health issues. Um, and so I've got that going. I do have the pet thing going, and actually I'll say started. I started with like my own online pet fabulous business several years back. And I bought all this inventory and I did all of the whole like I just actually found my folder on it this last week. And I was like, oh my, I forgot it was even a thing because I tried it. And at the time, like half the time, we didn't really even have a lot of internet access at the time. Like, I was just, I was out of my league. You know what I mean? I was not ready. I thought, oh, well, I'll just buy some things and I'll just sell them and it'll be great. Um, so I had a passion for that already. So I did do the whole. I've got a pet side and I've got a health pets that I do, promote because I love it. I love the products and pets and this and that. But the health is going to kind of be like kind of with like with Legendary. It's going to be a journey because I'm promoting it while I'm doing the very thing that I'm promoting. Like
Yeah.
because I need to see results from it. It's been the best thing that I've found so far. So that's me starting my journey with it, and that's gonna be so it'll be my story, and I'll try to just have people follow along with me. So that's
That's
the
gonna
next.
be
This is it for me. Affiliate marketing. That's it for me.
cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
I
I
won't go
love
back. I won't go back to working 9 to 5 or for somebody else because I've tried to be in the entrepreneur mindset. I've been in it my whole life. I just didn't have the resources. I was not educated about it, and when in my like I said, I'm 48. When I was growing up, it was like you go to school and you be a doctor, or a lawyer, or a teacher, or a nurse, and that's it. And I was like, okay, well, I'll go and I'll work in the medical field, and
it.
now it's like, what do you mean? There's a whole world of other things you can do on the computer. It's just mind blowing. So, yeah, that's kind of
um,
where I'm at.
yeah, man, I feel like I have a prediction. Something about just your journey, your story, your everything. I feel like that health niche, like I feel like that'll probably come easy for you. I do. I feel like that's going to be just almost second nature because it's been such an integral part of your life, even
Right.
more so than
Absolutely.
like the ability to make money online. That the health piece just is, it's such a core piece to somebody's identity. And yeah, your specific story and all that goes with it. I just feel like that's,
Yeah.
if I had any encouragement, it'd be like, jump into that and just
Yeah.
like run with that. But keep going, keep doing what you're doing, but
Yeah.
really explore that, because that's going to be like just it'll probably be even more fulfilling too.
Right. I think that's the one that's resonate. It's more personal for me, that one.
Hmm.
So that's more of where I'm starting to put my focus on, and I mean, honestly, it's, I tell people, okay, this is what I'm doing, and it's become more of a part-time. I've had the option to do this part-time. Luckily, my husband is taking care of home and bills and such. And so the money that's coming in, the commissions, it's great. It's an added bonus, to be able to do this. So I feel like there's a little bit less pressure for me because I can make a post a day. And I started in the beginning wanting to do 2 or 3 posts on TikTok, and I started a Facebook group, and I did all this. And then I was like still doing, I still had mom and grandmom things to do. And I was like, okay, this is good because this is a career where you can do this and still do other things that need your attention. You can still take care of all of those other things. So
Oh
this is
yeah.
more of a, I don't like the word part-time because I work on it a lot. But it's given me the opportunity to start something, go through my day, and then still take care of the home that I need to. And I think that this jumping into this health and wellness side is going to be, it'll take up a little bit more of my time because I'm so just passionate about all of the things that I've been through and wanting to reach out to people who are, doing the same thing, going through the same thing.
Yeah. It makes sense. Yeah, and even with you mentioned like working the full time, like even if you are devoting full time hours to it, there's something really powerful about the flexibility you're offered.
Absolutely.
So, if you've got like an all day event for one of your kids or a grandkid or something, and it's on a Thursday, right? And it's like, oh, no one can take the kid to this whatever field trip thing or a baseball game or something. It's like,
Right.
you know what? My entire day this can all happen on Saturday, or this can happen tonight when the kids go
Right.
to bed, or it's like, yeah, it's really, yeah, I've
Yep.
come to really appreciate that probably more than anything.
Yeah, that's helped me a lot because that the flexibility that you say, because just like today I've got a 2-year-old grandson that's with a fever, home with a fever, can't go to daycare, so I'll be watching him when I'm done here. And then I have a
Yeah.
16-year-old grandson who needs a ride home after band practice today. So I'm still able to be everywhere I need to be, but they all know that, okay, when it's time to go in here, this is my little space here. I can just get away, even if it's for a few minutes, and do that. And that's what I love. That I love to be able to still um, be here for them, but still have a chance to do something for myself. Sometimes when
Yeah.
you're a parent or a grandparent, whether you're a full-time parent or part-time, you forget that you still had at one point, you still had, you know, wants and ambitions and things that goals, and you don't always, you put those to the side a lot, to do those family things and take care of your responsibilities. And so it's nice to be able to do what I want to do, and focus on myself and still be able to do the other things also. So that's given me, that's this opportunity. That's exactly what it is. I can't stress enough um, how important that is. A balance, a work-life balance is absolutely important so that you don't get overwhelmed with either one of them.
Yep. I love it.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. Man, what a great interview. You've been
Mhm.
really great. I've very much enjoyed this. I feel like
Thank you.
refreshed. I always love us. I always just love hearing like real human beings. I don't know. It's just so different. Like sometimes there's the celebrity like things, or even, nothing against Dave, but like Dave's story of like going from drug addiction and sort of reinventing himself. And like It's so refreshing to just hear it from a person that I just met like 30
Right.
minutes ago. And congrats,
Thank
because
you.
you're working so damn hard, and I can tell. And you're paying such like even just in a quick scroll through your TikTok, paying such close attention to detail on your content creation, and I can tell that you're really like hyper locked in on that. So um, congrats. Do you
Thank
have any for people who are here or people who are watching? You know, we have 163 live, and then typically there's a couple thousand that'll watch. Like, just
you.
for people who are just figuring it out, who are just just trying to kind of work their way into the online space. Got
Mhm.
any final words or any words of advice?
I would have to say just don't give up when it gets hard, especially if, and I can relate to, I have, when I first got on here and I watched my very first live Wake Up Legendary was with Callie Vernon. I followed her from the beginning. I was like, she was like, oh, I set this goal and I put it on my list. And let me just say, persistence. If you set yourself a goal, determination. It's not always going to be motivation. It's not always like, oh, I'm not really feeling motivated today. You just have to find the determination to keep going. And if you make a goal for yourself, it's write it down. It's so much more, it seems so much more available to you. Like you're going to work towards it if it's written down. I saw Callie say, okay, I wrote my stuff down. I went and got myself a notebook, and just a quick bit I wrote on in March, in the beginning of March, I wrote, I want to get to 20,000 followers on TikTok, and I want to be on Wake Up Legendary before the end of April. Before the end of April. So I was giving myself, okay. And when Roxy reached out to me, she said, well, the only dates I have available in April, my next one available is the 27th or the 28th. And I was like, what are you telling me, that I wanted to be on before the end of April and the only 2 days you have left are the last two of the month? Holy crap. I'm writing everything down now. You just gotta work towards it. Write it down and make it a goal. And it's amazing. The power of the pen, it just helps hold yourself accountable, and, you just don't give up on it. It's completely worth it. It's completely worth it. And it makes you feel good. It makes you feel good to accomplish your goals. Absolutely.
Well, you wrote that down, and Callie just commented that what she wrote down was, "I wanted to have somebody inspired by my live," and she just checked that off her
Yes,
box. Yeah.
check it off your box, because I was just she's actually the first one I started following on my journey. I was just so I related, being in the healthcare field, and she's able to do it while working, and I was like, this is too good to be true. So yeah,
I
appreciate
freaking
that.
love it. I love it. I love it. It's just a test. It is such a clear example that, like, you have no idea in the world what person is going to relate to your content. No clue. Callie would have never in a million years guessed that some person in Texas, Michelle, with
Yeah,
your story and your journey would sit there and look at one of her videos and be like, damn, this is
absolutely.
cool. Or like,
Yep.
man, this would absolutely change my life. And the same thing goes for whatever niche in the world you could ever be in: health and fitness, dog training, um, uh, motivation, spirituality, sports training, like whatever that is. Um, there's always a backstory. There's always, physical rehab, mental rehab, relationships, right? Like relationship coaching, like all of this different stuff. You have an experience, you have a passion behind something, and you can connect to an audience, and at least in my experience of creating content and watching everyone else here create content, you just never know. You just
Right.
never know who the heck it's going to be.
Absolutely.
It's crazy.
I was so excited to follow her, and I follow several people now, just, and I love it. It's inspiring to be, especially at my age. It's like, it just gives me kind of a kick in the pants, to kind of go, okay, don't sit around all day, don't waste any more time. Because I got to the point, where I was like, oh, this is never going to work for me. I'm not going to, and then I look at all the time I wasted doubting. I could have started this in November. and been 6, 7 months into it now. But
Yep.
I mean, I think it's okay. You have to get to a point. And actually, like I said, when I saw Callie on her Wake Up Legendary interview, and she was just saying, I wrote it down, and I wanted to be on, and I just was like, you know what, that's a great idea. I'm going to set some goals. I'm going to write them down, and a lot of people won't admit to being my age and getting inspired by a younger, somebody so young in their 20s, because they don't want to get to this point and be like, oh, well, maybe I need to kind of backtrack, and maybe I can learn something from somebody else, the younger generation. But I've certainly learned from Legendary and from Callie and all the other affiliate marketers on here, just how much of a difference, one little, you just never know. I get messages from people saying, oh my God, I'd signed up for my first as affiliate today because of your video or for your words or your encouragement. So, and that's what Callie did for me. So shout out to you.
Shout out.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, cool. Well, Michelle, thanks for coming on. This was great. This was inspiring. I've been sitting here watching the comments the whole show, and they're blowing up. Between people loving your eyes and people loving your story, I've seen it all. So they're very thankful that you've been on, and I'm thankful. Thanks for coming on. And
I appreciate it.
Yeah, if we have another opening later down the road, we'll reach out and have you back on and get a little progress update.
Absolutely. I'm so glad to have been here. And it just gave me it's what I needed. It just kind of, you get a check-in, right? You check in with yourself and you remind yourself of when your questionnaire, it's, it reminds you, oh, what is my why? Why did I start this? Even 2 months down the road, you might be questioning or forgetting why you even started it. So it's great.
Yeah.
It was a great opportunity, and I appreciate it.
Anytime. All right. Thanks, Michelle. I'm going to wrap this thing up, and have a good rest of your Tuesday.
Thank you. You too. Bye, guys.
See ya. All right, guys. Next time you see me, hopefully, I'll be in my new house and not in our tiny little apartment here. Hey, if you guys can leave a comment for Michelle and just let her know, what you took away or what was powerful to you, just leave her a comment here, because that was really, really powerful. I hope you all realize that. I'm sure you did, but and Michelle maybe can run through the comments later after the show, and maybe give it a couple days for people to rewatch and stuff like that. But we're signing off for the day. Have yourself a great rest of your Wednesday or Tuesday, whatever day is today, the 27th. And we'll be back tomorrow, which is Wednesday, and Dave will be back here tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern, same time, same place. Have yourself a good rest of your day. See you.